join in and help kick in the bill, and we want to. At some point in time, we should. But I don't think it's necessary for us to spend the money, because we're gonna get the benefit of the decision anyway. The problem with these lawsuits is in California, this is very narrow. This focuses on the interpretation of the power to restrict our rights to determine solar and wind and a few other items in our township. In California, they filed a lawsuit that the state had made determinations to control the zoning, like this inclusionary housing type stuff, in our communities, in the communities in California. The communities in California sued.
Point of order.
Got that overturned. Got it overturned as unconstitutional, because it's unconstitutional infringement on our zoning power. So I think this is a very narrow lawsuit. I think at some point in time there needs to be a larger, more inclusive lawsuit to stop this infringement on our rights to zone in this township. But this is very narrow, and whether we spend the money or not, we're going to get the benefit of the result. And I think they've probably got enough money right now in the pot to do it. So, you know, it's up to the board if they want to kick in money now, or the board next time could kick some money in. It only puts us on as a plaintiff, and you get the documents from the court, and that's about it.
Well, again, to be clear, it's not about kicking in any money right away, okay? It's about,
But once you join, you're going to be obligated to whatever
you're gonna be billed.
it's going to
You're
be.
gonna be billed.
That's it.
Thank you. I don't,
Can
Go
I?
ahead.
Can I
yes,
just-
yes.
So the main point of the lawsuit is the MSP has stepped outside these types of decisions and taking over zoning is a legislative one, and I think that's the basis of this lawsuit, that they're overstepping their powers. Those powers to decide zoning should be a legislative issue. The other piece that I've heard from people that, from Foster Swift and that have joined this, is there are some townships that have capped. So like, okay, well, we're gonna go in this and we're capping it at this. And then there's a lot of other boards are in similar situations where there's gonna be changeover, and so they're saying, okay, well, we're gonna join this, and it's going to be, we're giving you this much money for now, and then if this township wants to continue, then they can add in more money. That's my understanding, but I defer to, if you've had conversations with Foster Swift and about that, then it could be different. The other piece that I'll just say is there were a lot of residents back in the spring that were against the state taking our community's decision-making power in the siting and placement of industrial wind, solar, and battery storage. And everyone on the planning commission signed this petition. I can't speak to the board. I think some of you signed. I can't say, but I think if you don't, I personally don't agree with that, like, let someone else take the fight on. I think there's power in numbers, and if we all, like, join in and participate, and you get a large number of townships joining in, then the success rate is higher. And then I'll leave with Foster Swift is the #1 law firm in the state of Michigan regarding municipal law. And I don't think that they would bring this forward unless they thought that they had a good chance to win it. Thank you.
There's no, let's say if we didn't do anything about it now, you can't join it later on down the road, can you?
you might be able to, yeah. I mean, you know, you could intervene and join the lawsuit potentially. You'd have to ask you to do that probably, but, I mean, the court might allow it in. I mean, you have the same complaint basically. So, I mean, in some ways, if there was enough, well, it could have been, well, yeah, no, yeah, I mean, I think you always have the option at some point, to try to join a suit if you want to.
Yeah.
You have to have the interest of the municipality, you probably would have the interest, and so you could file a motion to intervene, and then you can work out an agreement with Foster Swift at that time to, pursue your goals, or you'd have your own attorney do it.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of bothers me is letting everybody else pay for it, then we reap the benefits. Kind of morally, it's not right. I mean, if you're gonna have a benefit from it, you know, you should kick in something to it, you know?
Well, realistically, it's not that much money when you think
My
about.
question is, okay, if we get involved in this, now we're gonna be paying whatever attorney this is pursuing this. Okay, now does that mean that you're gonna be our spokesman to this attorney?
Potentially, I mean, that's up to you as to how you want to run it. And let me just say, she mentioned something about some municipalities, you know, have already made some type of an agreement to commit to so much. I don't know if that's true or it's not true, but the reality is that may be something that Foster Swift would agree to, okay, to take an initial amount, and then, you know, you can either get dismissed out of the suit later, or if you decide to kick in more, or when I say kick in more, if you decide you want to stay in longer and pay more because the lawsuit's taking a little bit longer and there's more that needs to be done, and as a result, more services that have to be paid for. I mean, that may be a possibility. I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything to, except for what she just said here. So, but that may be something that could be discussed with Foster Swift if the township was so inclined to do so.
Well, this has one court date, right?
Well,
It's
well,
court
yes,
appeals,
yes,
so you
it's-
go one time
it's an appeal.
and you present your
It's
case.
an appeal. It will
And then
be-
they give you a decision back later on.
It will be decided on briefs and oral arguments probably, so.
One shot, it's over with.
One shot, it's over
Yeah.
with. Then
Well,
we
that's what-
probably need to join in the lawsuit.
Well, that's,
Well, I agree with you on
that's
that,
why,
Debbie.
that's,
I'm just trying to
that's
figure
why,
out.
that's why they're
But you don't know
guesstimating
what
that the
I'm
cost
trying to
of it's
figure
not gonna be
We need to put a cap
astronomical
on
for the number of municipalities that are joining. Okay, so if you have 20 municipalities that have already joined up, and the cost is $100,000, okay, it's $5,000 a piece basically. And frankly, $100,000 for an appeal seems to me, okay, that's quite a bit, okay, so, but we're talking about a 168-page order, have no idea what the detail of getting into that litigation is going to be, so.
All right,
And it
you wanna
is
make a motion?
I'll make a
I
motion.
still wanna know if, how does the board want this set up? Does the board want this attorney reporting to the officers of this board? Or does the board want that attorney going to our attorney, then bring it to us?
That's the decision that the next board is gonna change in 30
It
days.
have to be
There's probably not gonna be a
decided next
lot
time.
for your attorney to deal with, quite frankly, because it is an appeal, okay? So there's gonna be the briefing time schedule, and then there'll be an oral argument set for it, and then there'll be a decision, basically. So there's just not gonna be that much that your attorney would be involved in.
Who's making the motion?
I'll make a motion to join in to the
Wait.
lawsuit.
Wait.
So, I'm a little bit confused on this cap thing, because if it seems like it's just a one, they already have enough money, it sounds like.
Well, they don't have any money right now, I
Well-
don't think. They have enough municipalities to support the lawsuit.
Right,
Yeah.
so, why why would you need to cap it if that's gonna be it? Because you mentioned about it going on, and if it's an appeal, how would that occur?
Well, we'll just get, there would probably be, well, it might be a claim of appeal. I don't know in that circumstance whether it's a claim of appeal or you have to, request by leave, to get an appeal to the Supreme Court. Either way, if it's, likely it would potentially, if it was leave, you would file a motion to request leave to appeal in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court would make a decision based upon briefs as to whether or not it's important enough for the Supreme Court to take up, And if they decided that it was important enough for them to take up, then there would be another schedule for briefing in the Supreme Court. They would probably invite and allow the Michigan Township Association, the Municipal League, and other industry, people to get involved in it as amicus briefs. And so, the more briefs, the more work, that your attorney has to do, so.
So what if you only wanted to give $5,000 and that's it?
Well, again.
And
okay,
then what if
that-
they wanna come back and say, we need more, like say,
Well, again, okay,
we
that's.
don't want to.
I don't know.
Or
I
we
don't-
can't.
I don't really know
I
if
mean,
that's even
how
a
does that work?
possibility. I don't really know if that's a possibility. She brought it up, she said that she knows of some municipalities that have done this, okay? I'm not aware of it. That's a conversation with Foster and Swift. Would they allow that, okay? And, I don't know. That's, they will either say, oh yeah, sure, if you wanna go ahead and, kick in $5,000 now, and then if you don't wanna, if it gets to be more expensive than $5,000 and you don't want to continue, then we can dismiss you out, or if you decide that you want to, spend a little bit more on the litigation, then you can make that decision. They might do that, I don't know. Again, that's a conversation with them that I have not had.
Well, folks.
Or that you
follow
could,
up.
you could have that conversation
We don't
yourself.
know
You
how
don't
much
need me to
this
do it,
is and
okay?
where does
I mean,
it
honestly,
end?
the supervisor, or, somebody can have that conversation with them too. I mean,
Well, and could you pull out, like if we say we made a motion, we agreed to do it, and then we get a bill in 3 months and it's $10,000, and we're like, oh, that's, and we decide, well, we wanna pull out. Could we pull out after that?
Probably, but, I would probably say that there may be even some type of an agreement that they're going to want, okay, with the township
Like a-
related to, related to the representation of the township, okay? So an attorney fee agreement, so to speak, okay? I haven't seen one, but I'll bet that they probably have one that they're gonna want, so, and whatever that agreement says, that's what you have.
All right, does anybody want to make a motion on this, or you just want to let it
What if
die?
they collect too much money, do we get some back? I mean, there's a lot of townships.
No, let's just
I'm
say,
trying to understand how this works,
let's
this
just say
payment
there,
thing.
let's just say there's 20 communities that join up in this suit. They all
Okay.
put their name in the caption.
Okay,
They're part of it, they enter into a fee agreement with Foster and Swift. The briefing costs $20,000, okay? You're gonna get a bill for $1,000, okay? And that will be it until something else comes along, okay? So that's
Okay.
the system.
Yeah.
that is-
So you
Now
can
I
join
get
in
it.
this
Yeah, okay.
part, if it doesn't go
Gotcha.
the way you want and they continue, then you can decide if you wanna go further with it, if it needs to go further.
Yeah, again, that's not something that.
okay, so the cap is on our end, so we're saying we're gonna set aside 5, then if we join up, they're just gonna keep billing us.
They're gonna keep billing.
Till it's done.
Yeah, until it's
Okay,
done.
and then, okay.
Well, we don't know that we can do a cap. That's something we don't know
Well, we
about.
could
You
within
can
the,
decide-
within the
You can decide
board,
within the
but,
board.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
And then,
but
but
then,
again,
yeah. Okay.
that would require, okay, that will require taking a look at the agreement that they want you to sign and potentially negotiating something different than may be in the agreement. Until you see the agreement, you won't know that for sure, but it may be perfectly fine within the agreement for you to withdraw from the litigation at any time that you want to. I just, we don't know.
So you haven't seen the agreement?
I know,
where-
I don't even know if there's.
So
an
we don't
agreement.
even,
I'm assuming there's an agreement, so.
so we're making a decision on something that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
That scares me a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to be able to say, yeah, but we're not seeing it, so that makes me a little nervous.
Well, they didn't send anything like that out that I'm aware of, so, but, look, I mean,
It seemed like they would,
So what it
it
is-
seemed they wanted the people to join, it seems like they would have the information.
Yeah,
Feedback,
but,
right.
Yeah.
but there's
well, maybe
still,
they're happy with what they got.
In a minute.
Yeah.
Just let 'em-
and what it is
You gotta
it's,
let
it's the
them
township
get
staying,
information out.
saying,
We're
we
just
do not
kicking
agree
it
with
dead
PA
horse,
233, which is, they're controlling the mining, the
Yeah.
solar, all this stuff that they're trying to take. Well, they're not trying, they have taken local control away from the township and, you know, it's at state level. So if we can, if they do pass, like if they get this to win the case, then we will get our control back, right?
Yeah, I get that.
Not all of it.
Not
Okay,
all of it?
Again, Mr. Frey was correct, okay? This is a fairly narrow litigation, okay? It's an appeal of an order, okay, an administrative order from the Michigan Public Service Commission, okay? It's not necessarily an attack on PA 233 itself, okay? That's a bigger lawsuit, okay? And whether or not that's gonna happen is, you know, I haven't seen anything related to that. I know that there have been petition drives, okay? That's.
How do these other municipalities join in if there's no, what if you wanna call it a contract or something? How'd they join in then?
Well, they don't like it, okay? They made their, they got together with their.
No, I'm sorry, I should reframe. How did they sign up for it, these other municipalities?
I don't
'Cause-
know.
No, you know, okay, because Linda said she wanted to see like a contract or something, and she didn't want to agree to anything without seeing something. That's why I wondered how these other ones.
There has to be a
No,
retainer
I get-
agreement.
Yeah.
What my concern is,
And that's
is
what we
not,
need to
I
add,
understand what we're going
retainer
for and why we're going for it. My concern is, do we get into something, we put money into it, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we decide we don't want to, we just spent a bunch of money on something that we don't know if we wanna go for, that's my concern.
So, I mean, look, this is a conversation with Foster Swift, okay? I mean, honestly, whether I have it or somebody else has it with Foster Swift, okay, about the details of what this agreement would look like, okay? Can we get in? Can we get out when we wanna get out, okay? Can we put a, you know,
Either we make a motion now.
the maximum amount that we wanna spend or something like that, you know? I just
Okay,
don't.
Ms. Smiley has something she would like to add to the conversation, please.
Yeah, so a couple things here. You can actually do a not to exceed clause, you know, so not to exceed $5,000. But one of the things from a motion perspective, you guys could issue a motion that you're going to investigate, you know, because the other municipalities, they're already on there. So the motion could be that you're going to network with the other municipalities and the attorney that's taking the case, right? So that could be your motion, to explore how other municipalities are doing it and to talk to the attorneys. What you could do, because you guys only have one meeting a month, what you could do is,
Special meeting.
that's where I was going. So you could have then another meeting or another motion to, after you meet with the other municipalities and the attorney, then you could make a motion to have a special meeting to review the outcome. And then from a not to exceed perspective, from a municipality perspective, you want to keep as much money as you can. You don't want to give them $5,000 if they're not using the $5,000 right now. So the other thing that you can do is you could write the agreement and put the money in escrow. So you could say, for example, if it's going to be $5,000, you're going to put the money in escrow and they're going to pull it out, your piece of that money. So you'll have it in your bank account, but they'll just pull out your piece of the pie. And as other municipalities join in, then your piece of the pie would in theory go down, but you would have that money allocated in escrow. So you'd still be getting, you know, it's still in your bank account and it just gets drawn out a little bit at a time. Just a thought.
Well, that's where I was going with this. If the board doesn't feel good right now to make a motion on it, I would say that, what's today, 22nd? Elections are the 5th. That we can try to get some more, who do we go to get more information? The attorney?
And the other communities that are involved in it. Deerfield, that's who I spoke to, was Mr. Martis, who is the, he's familiar with Deerfield, and he's a county commissioner.
You only have until November the 7th.
I feel good
Cutoff
enough
date.
about making a motion on this right now, but if the rest of the board does not feel good enough about it, I suggest that we call a special meeting in 7 days or whatever, and use those 7 days so somebody can get us some more information.
I second that.
I don't
Debbie
really,
started a motion, and now you're.
I'll go along
Well, I'm
with
just
that.
throwing everything on the
So
table
what-
here.
What about, and then what she said, I'm over here chicken
We,
scratching, how
we
about?
have to join this by November the 7th is cutoff date, okay? I would propose to put $10,000 back in escrow and then have another special meeting in 7 days because we have, November the 7th, it's not right around the
yeah,
corner.
it's like right in the middle of an
Do that.
election time right now. I don't want to have a special
Well,
meeting
and-
in 7 days.
So
So let's see what it says.
what I would encourage you all to do as well, like, of course, talking to Foster Swift directly or another township is the best way to go. But there is a Facebook group called Our Home, Our Voice, and when I brought up the capping, that is Tyrone Township. I'm not sure where they're located, but at their board meeting, they agreed to join, and it's all here in one of the threads, and they capped their amount they're the one I referenced, they capped it at $12,000, and because that board is changing, like our board is changing, and the next board can make the decision. I assume, if they don't have any more money, they're out of, they don't have any skin in the game. They'll just benefit from whatever, if
Yeah.
changes happen.
So I'd like to find out though, what's the magic of these numbers? Like, are people just saying, well, 5 grand or 10 grand, like, whatever? Like, we need to look at our
Well,
budget and.
Kevin Martis told me
Yeah.
that if they're hoping to get 70 townships, and if they get 70 townships, then the cost over 2 years is $3,000 to $4,000 a township. That's their estimate.
So that's where that's coming from?
Yes.
Okay.
All
So we
right.
could say 3.
So you want Belinda to read what
Yes.
she got?
Do it.
Put together between what everybody said here, it would be motion by Deborah, cause she's the one that started it. Authorizing Augusta Township Attorney Victor to obtain Foster Swift attorney agreement to join the attorney Foster and Swift's local government challenging Michigan's PSCS ruling on PA 223 lawsuit within 7 days.
Who wants to second it?
I'll second it.
Second.
Chris second, okay.
Can I see that motion?
Yeah,
And it's 233, Belinda.
it's 233.
PA 233.
233, what did
Yeah,
I
that's
say?
what she wrote, she just didn't
Yeah.
say it.
Okay, Susan,
I say PA 201.
Yes.
David,
Yeah.
Debbie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Shelby, yes, Kim?
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Clerk's report.
Who said
Chris seconded it.
I'm surprised.
Shut up.
it?
Okay,
Seconded.
clerk's report.
Okay. So, once again, very busy in the clerk's office. The general election is November 7th, 2 weeks from today. So far, we have issued 2,099 absentee ballots. We have a return of 54%, 1,134 have been returned already. And, yeah, so we're doing very well, very busy. Also, early voting will start this Saturday, October 26th, and go through November 3rd. We had our public accuracy test last Tuesday, the 15th, and that went very well. One of the ladies from League of Women Voters came, and she was awesome. She helped us a lot. We did have an issue on Columbus Day. Somebody had put several ballots in the ballot slot at the same time, and they jammed at the bottom of the slot. Susan fortunately saw the scuttlebutt on Facebook and called me to let me know. I went in right away and freed the slot. We have constant surveillance cameras on the election box, and at no time were there ballots on the ground, as one of the residents has stated. Also, if there's ever an issue, all the trustees, everybody has my phone number.
You do
Please
have a
call me.
camera on that, don't you?
Yes,
Okay.
24-hour surveillance.
Good.
Yes. And also, my deputy has applied for the Michigan Renewable Ready Communities Program. which could result in payment of up to $5,000 per megawatts of the solar project capacity in our community. So we're excited about that. That could be huge. And also, this is the last meeting with this board at the table, with the members of this board at the table. The current, how do we say that? With everyone that's here as members at this table.
We call a special meeting, it won't be.
It has, yeah, that's true, but it has been a pretty good run overall. I'm very proud of the fact that we've been able to maintain our excellent audits and the financial state of the township is in good shape.
That isn't
I'm
politicking,
hopeful
is it?
I'm
Where's the letter
hopeful the
finish?
next board of trustees
Well,
will
pitch
work
later.
together to
It-
continue
politics
improving
is
Augusta
in the
Township. And that's it. And
Okay,
I
I
would
make
make a
a-
motion to approve warrants, 27,700 through 27,791.
Second. Susan,
Yes.
David,
Yep.
Debbie,
Nope.
Linda,
Yes.
Chris,
No.
Shelby, yes, Kim,
Yes.
all right.
I would also make a motion to approve the attached September 30, 2024 quarterly Augusta Township financial reports.
Second. Susan,
Yes.
David,
Yep.
Debbie,
Nope.
Linda,
Yes.
Chris,
Nope.
Shelby, yes, Kim.
Yes.
I make a motion to accept the clerk's report as given.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Treasurer's report, Susan.
So I sent the cash summary and investment report to the board, as required. I've also been meeting with some vendors, through video, Zoom meetings and, email. My deputy and I, we've been talking to vendors about, well, BSNA is specifically because they've developed their own online payment, module. We're using Point and Pay right now, but we're gonna compare the rates and see if we can get a better rate. We did view their software, which looks really user-friendly. I really like it. The interface is really nice. We also talked to BSNA about getting a card reader for our water dispenser, which seems to be the holy grail. We can't seem to find a company that we can get a card reader on that thing, and the barrier is it's not so much getting a card reader to work, but it has to also integrate with our BSNA software. So we don't want to have to do transactions through that reader and then have to create a file and then manually upload it into our software. So that seems to be our issue. We were hoping BSNA would have a little better news when we talk to them, and they're gonna talk to their team, which is what we always hear when we approach these companies. Well, we'll talk to our software developers, and so, but we're still pursuing that. It's been really slow. The other thing is, they also had, well, no, I don't wanna talk about that. So, yeah, so we're still viewing, we're reviewing our, you know, the payments online and the fees that we charge to see if we can find something more cost effective. And also, we're still pursuing our email billing for the utility bills, so,
That it?
yes.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I don't see assessor's report. Farmland preservation, Susan.
We did not get a meeting.
Pardon?
We didn't have a meeting.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the farmland preservation's report. I know, that's, she opened up her mouth. All right, planning commission, David, you're up.
PC met on October 16th, 2024, 6:30 PM. We worked on a wind ordinance, renewable energy ordinance. As per Carlisle Workman, the township does not need a large-scale wind ordinance. If the township does not have one, as we're told, if the township does not have one, that means it's not allowed. The township solar ordinance will be revised to include battery storage facilities and personal wind ordinance. Now, when I say personal, I'm talking about individual homes, not large scale. And, with the elections and everything else, and give the attorney time to, or the Carlisle time to work, get it in writing, a public hearing will be set for January 15th of 2025 for public input. That's all I got. Meeting adjourned 7:26.
Thank you. Make a motion to accept planning commission's meeting is given.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Urban County, Linda?
Nothing, no.
Nothing? All right, code enforcement report that was in here. I make a motion to accept that report.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, public comment at 8:08, I guess. That's it, okay. Anybody out there? No? Okay. Board response. I failed to mention in supervisor's report, and I'm sorry, that there was a tire drive that Alan got the grant for that, and David Hall, they worked very hard. Kath was there too, trying to figure out, what'd you do, Kath?
I handed out some water and pizza.
Is it true they threw you in a truck several times?
Nope.
No, okay, all right, it's a bad rumor. Yeah, well, thank you very
I'm
much.
still here.
Yeah, thank you, the three of you. Also, of course, the green team, I want to thank all of them for volunteering. Keith and Michael, and of course, Wendy and Heather, a few other people too. It's been pretty successful. And then there was, let's see what else. Whoever takes my place, I wish the best of luck to them. I'll pass the target on to whoever that is on the 20th of November. So you have your own target on your back. But just remember, it's a job, and you're one vote. And you gotta try to keep it from letting it go to your head. I've been guilty of it a few times. Don't laugh at it. But just, we have to work for the betterment of this community. That's what you have to have foremost in your mind. That's all I have to say. Anybody have anything to say?
I just wanted to clarify why I voted no on the lights, because I think I heard some boos from the audience. I am not against getting the lights down there. What I would like to see going forward is I would like to see something in writing from Ypsilanti showing their commitment, like we had for the other crosswalk light. And I would also like to find out how homeowners are notified. And the last thing is Brian, I read, I know I did, I had that piece of paper, on that sheet you gave us for that quote, it did not look locked into me. It said that we had up to 6 months. That quote was good for 6 months. And then it would revert back to, something else. So we got a little bit of time, and to see what Justin Hodge can do for us too. So we're not stuck on just hurry and do this, or else we won't get that rate. It says, this is the $8,609.34. It says the price quoted shall be in effect for 6 months from the date of this letter, which was October 2nd.